In last video we have taken little information about gravitation. Now today we are going to take some more information about the gravitation. Here, before seeing this video, I will request you to subscribe this channel to get the latest updated videos by our academy. So dear students, today we are going to study about uniform circular motion. We have seen that in 9th standard also, even in 6th standard you have studied about circular motion. Circular motion means when body rotates along with circle, that is called a circular motion. Then these planets are moving in a circle. Planetary motion is also circular motion. Here is a question before the Newton and as well as before us, that why are all these planets are rotating in a circular motion? Its reason is that we have seen, I gave example in last video, and here also one more time telling to you that these all when this is a suppose center, this is a center, means here, and another body is rotating around the center. Okay. Here this orbit means what you are knowing what is meant by orbit. Orbit means the path in which planets move around the earth, even earth is a planet and this earth is moving around the sun. So here if there is any object, this object is moving along a circle, means the motion of this object is called a circular motion. And why is this object moving along a circle? Its reason is that this center acts continuously force. Body or object is continuously acted upon by a force directed towards center is called a centripetal force. Means force is acted on this object. When force is acted on this object, then these objects are moving along a circle. This force when acted on this object, then these objects are get pulled towards the center. Means there is a force of attraction. Due to force acting on this object. So the force which is acting on the object toward the center is called a centripetal force, and because of centripetal force, objects or planets have circular motion. Means centripetal force is responsible for the circular motion of different planets. Here I took here Earth, and suppose here is a moon. Then moon is rotating around revolving around this Earth. Its reason is that Earth, from the center of Earth, force is acted on the moon, and therefore moon is rotating around the sun in circular motion. Means, do you understand what is the reason of circular motion? What is the reason of circular motion of the planets? It's a centripetal force. So when centripetal force acting on the object directed toward the center, that is called a centripetal force. Then because of this centripetal force, however, objects are rotating, then we can calculate this centripetal force. How can we calculate this centripetal force? That we will check it. F is equal to F is equal to mv square upon r is the formula. F is equal to mv square upon r is the formula, the centripetal force acting on the object. The F stand for force, F stand for force, R distance, R means distance, M means mass, and V is velocity. V stand for velocity or it is stand for speed. Then you know the formula how to calculate speed. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Then speed means what? We will take V. V is equal to distance upon time, means d upon distance upon time. Then here now we will see that how this V is equal to distance upon time. This value of V will be kept in this equation, but before seeing of it, that distance, what is the value of distance? So check here, if A is an object, this A object covers the distance till B, from till it comes C, and C to D, and D to again A. This when one complete rotation, when one motion, when one circle is completed, it means that it is a circular motion, it is a circle, and then from A to B, B to C, C to D, and from D, when it comes at its original place, then distance covered by object in one revolution is equal to the perimeter of circle. So what is the perimeter of circle? Perimeter of circle means 2 pi r. Therefore here I am going to take V is equal to 2 pi r upon t. 2 pi r upon t. Then F is equal to mv square upon r, force acting on any object to its circular motion, which is responsible for its circular motion, is calculated by F is equal to mv square upon r, and V means what? V means when one round is get completed, means distance covered by the object in one round is equal to the perimeter of the circle, and perimeter of the circle means 2 pi r. This is equation number 2. From 1 and 2, we will keep this value. F is equal to small m into 2 pi r upon t bracket square, because here it is V square. So in the place of V, I am going to put the value from equation number 2 in bracket 2 pi r upon t bracket square upon this distance r as usual, or radius is as usual. Now here we will solve this. I am taking this all up because there is no place to me, and hence I have to take it up. Please listen carefully. Now here I am coming from this point. This equation I am taking again here up. F is equal to m into in bracket 2 pi r upon t bracket square upon r. We will solve this here now. What is becoming? Check. F is equal to m as it is here 2 pi r upon t, means we should take here square, because V square means here make the square term 2 square becoming 4, pi square, r square as it is, and here t square, and these are remaining as it is. It is confusing to you, not given properly in textbook. So one more time see that our formula was F is equal to mv square upon r. Then your value of V is 2 pi r upon t. V, value of V is 2 pi r upon t. Then its square is made. Then what is happened? Now here these are and this square term is cancelled. What is remained? M 4 pi or 4 taking first. 4m pi square r, 4m pi square r upon t square is remained when r is cancelled. Now here in this situation we should multiply by r square. We should multiply this equation by r square upon r square. Then what will remain? What is happening is very interesting. So 4m pi square r square into r means r cube. This t square upon t square as it is, upon t square as it is, and just below of it r square will come. Yes, do you understand what I did? 4m as it is, pi square as it is, r into r square means r cube, upon t square means this is multiplied to this term and below this r square comes as it is. Do you understand? Now here, but according to Kepler's third law, according to Kepler's third law, what is given here? Kepler's third law states that t square upon r cube is equal to k. Kepler's third law tells us that t square upon r cube is equal to k. K is a constant. K is a constant. Yes. Then here r cube upon t square. Here it is r cube upon t square means it will come 1 upon k, and 1 upon k is also constant. I will take this value here only as it is. Now f is equal to what will become 4m pi square, 4m pi square upon r square, and here it is r cube upon t square. Then r cube upon t square means 1 upon k. I am going to take it here k, or if you want here I will write 1 upon k, and increasing one more step, 4m pi square upon r square k. Then here what happened? 4m pi square k. This full term is constant. Then therefore here Newton concluded law of gravitation that F is inversely proportional to r square. F is inversely proportional to r square means square of the distance. And therefore this F means force of gravitation. F means force of gravitation. Force of gravitation is inversely proportional to square of distance. And therefore, however distance from the earth increases, then its value becoming so small. Therefore, gravitational force means this law is called inverse gravitational force, law of inverse gravitational force. Then this law, according to this law, F is very, very small. Though value of F is gravitational force of the earth is very small in nature with respect to other forces, because in this nature there are number of forces acting on the body, working in this nature. Then here the value of this gravitational force is small than other forces. Though it is small, its importance is that this earth is moving, or other planets are moving in a circle, is controlled by gravitational force. So universe, planetary motions, motion of the earth, or motion of the circular motion of the planets moving along circle is controlled by gravitational force, and this is the importance, and that's why all the bodies are get attracted towards the earth. Now we are going to study about high tide and low tide. About high tide and low tide. Why high tide? What is meant by high tide? What is meant by low tide? You are knowing about this. Why high tides and low tides are forming? At the time of high tide, water goes ahead, level of the water increases, and at low tide, level of the sea water decreases. High tide, low tides are formed in the oceanic water or in the sea water. Then high timings of the high tide, low tides are different at different places. Increasing level of the water in the ocean or in the sea is different at a different time in different places. Its a reason is that gravitational force. Its a reason is that gravitational force. Means when the distance of moon and distance of the earth is continuously changing, and therefore twice a day, 2 times in a day, there is high tide and low tide take place on the surface of the ocean. Then this distance, when distance is low, means when ocean water directly comes under the moon, then it exerts more gravitational force. Moon exerts its gravitational force more, because if distance is low, then more and more gravitational force acts on it, and at that place, then level of the water, means there is high tide take place, and in high tide, level of the water increases more. But same time, exactly at 90 degree, distance is more, and therefore that place there is low tide take place, and hence level of the water is minimum. Minimum means force, gravitational force exerted by moon, on the ocean surface causes high tides and low tides if distance between moon and oceanic surface is less, then at that place there is a high tide. If that distance due to 90 degree situation, when oceanic water comes under the moon's surface, making with 90 degree angle, distance is more, and as there is more distance, the level gravitational force exerted by moon is less. And therefore there is no pool of water. By the moon's gravitational force, and therefore level of water is minimum. Means gravitational force is the cause. Gravitational force of the moon is the cause of high tides and low tides. Now we are going to study about Earth's gravitational force. We have just seen the effect of gravitational force by moon. Now Earth's gravitational force. In first video of this same lesson, I have told you an example that one girl complained to the sir that, "Sir, boy from corner is looking towards me," and some more about it I told at that time. Today I don't want to repeat it, but one fact is here I want to clear that according to this Newton's gravitational law, every two objects of the world attract to each other. Not the world, but even from the universe. World concept is different one, universe concept is different one. So according to gravitational law, universal gravitational law, every two objects of this universe attract to each other. And when Earth exerts the gravitational force on two objects, when Earth exerts, here it is Earth, when this Earth exerts its force on the two objects, then these two objects are attracting to each other. And even every time this Earth per second, per moment, Earth exerts its gravitational force on every object, even gravitational force of this Earth is acting on our body. Though if I throw you up, or if someone comes and throws to us in upward direction, we comes again towards the Earth only. Any object thrown vertically, it has not permanently went upside. At last it comes down only. So here also, due to gravitational force of the Earth, all objects are attracted towards the center of the Earth. Here object, here object, here object. Means on every object, Earth exerts its gravitational force, and all these objects are directed towards the center of the Earth. That is Earth's gravitational force. So any object, just like thrown up, then any object when thrown up, if you throw the stone vertically upward direction, at last it comes towards the Earth. As when it goes up at a certain distance, then gravitational force is continuously acting on it. When its initial speed is get reduced. Why is initial speed is get reduced? Because the Earth is pulling towards it because of the gravitational force. So gravitational force acting on the object who is going in vertical direction, and at last it comes downward. That is Earth's any object thrown in upward direction, any object is thrown in vertical upward direction, gravitational force act on it, and at last it comes towards the center of the Earth. Then this gravitational force is calculated by one of the formula. We will see that, but before seeing it, acceleration. When force is acted on any object, what is the effect of force? Who can tell me? When force is acted on the body comes in motion. Means what is the effect of force? When force is acted on the body moves, body gets motion. So acceleration, motion means acceleration. Therefore here, force exerted by Earth, which force? Gravitational force. Gravitational force exerted by the Earth causes acceleration. This body starts to move. So acceleration, this is called acceleration due to gravity. When gravitational force acts on any object, it starts to accelerate. It comes into the motion. This is called acceleration due to gravity. Means this object is at rest. This object is at rest, but this object, when gravitational force acting on it, then it starts to falls down. It starts to accelerate. This acceleration is due to gravity. Then we can calculate this acceleration due to gravity by one of the formula. You are knowing that F is equal to, we know Newton's law of gravitation. According to Newton's law of gravitation, F is equal to G m upon r square. Sorry. And second one is, this is Newton's law of gravitation. G m upon r square. G stand for gravitational force, m stand for gravitation, m stand for mass of the earth. This m means mass of the object and r means distance. This is equation number 1. Second, force means what? Actually, how can you calculate force? We can calculate force is equal to mg. Equation number 2. Therefore, from 1 and 2, we will take it mg is equal to G capital M into small m upon r square. Then this m and this m means this small m stands for mass of the object. Here I will write m. Mass, capital M means mass of earth, small m mass of object, r stand for radius of earth, F stand for force. Capital G means gravitational force. Now here we are going to find value of G. Therefore, G is equal to G capital M upon r square. Then here G is equal to, this value of G is calculated in Newton's law, that is 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton per meter kg into 6, value of G is 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11, and mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 divided by r square, means radius of the earth is given 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 bracket square. When you will calculate this, then we get its answer 9.8. We will get its answer 9.8. One more time, see, check. F is equal to G capital M into small m upon r square. Capital M stands for mass of the earth, small m stands for the mass of the object, r stands for radius of the earth. F means force is calculated. Force means product of mass of object into gravitational force acting on it. Thus, from 1 and 2, left hand sides are equal, therefore right hand sides are written opposite to each other. This small m is cancelled. We can calculate value of G. G is equal to Gm upon r square, and G means force of gravitation according to Newton's universal law of gravitation, 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 into mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg, and here value of radius is taken 6.4 into 10 raised to 6. Now, after calculation, we will get this value of G is equal to 9.8. Then, is this value of G constant? Now, next question before us is that, is value of G is constant? Value of G is equal to 9.8 is decided by the scientist. Value of G is decided by the scientist, that is 9.8 meter per second. Then, is it constant? If we ask whether it is constant or not, then Dear friends, its answer is always no. Value of G is never constant. How it is different, that we will see it, but don't forget to subscribe this channel. You should subscribe this channel. You should write your comments. You should tell to your friends to get maximum benefit of our channel. So here G, value of G is different at different place on Earth surface. Value of G on Earth surface is not constant. Why it is not constant? Its reason is that you are knowing that surface shape of the Earth is not exact sphere. It is little bit flattened at the North Pole and at the South Pole. It is shape of the Earth is not exactly sphere. It is flattened at the both ends, and therefore what is happening, that here it is a equator. Here it is a equator. Then value of radius changes to the both poles, and it is at the equator it is more. At the equator here it is more. So this distance from pole to center of the Earth, this distance is small, and therefore gravitational value is more. At the both poles it is 9.83. At South Pole also gravitational value of G is 9.83. As you come towards the center, means from North Pole to equator, then a radius is increases, means distance is increases, and therefore on the surface of the equator, value of G is 9.78 meter per second. And that's why, as Earth has no exact spherical shape, distance, if we go towards the pole, then that distance, and if we come towards the equator, if we go away from the center towards the end of the equator, radius increases, and that's why value of G is not constant. Now we are going to study whether value of G is constant at different height. Means on the surface it is 0. On surface means where there is no distance. Where there is no distance means distance is 0. Then it is 9.8. If you go high from the Earth surface, on Earth surface means when there is 0 distance, it is 9.8. But suppose if you go on Mount Everest, then what will happen? Its distance is 8.8 kilometer. Then there also this height is negligible for the unlimited height, and therefore this distance is also small, and therefore this 9.8 means value of G remains the same. On Mount Everest also. But there is one balloon made by human being, and it was given up in the sky, and it was reached at around 36.6 kilometer balloon. At maximum height, when balloon was given up into the sky, then it was reached a maximum. It covered the distance of 36.6 kilometer, and then its a value at that time when it was counted, it became 9.7. Then weather satellites are given up and kept at a constant place, to rotate it. That distance is 400 kilometers. Means all weather satellites are rotating around the Earth at the distance of 400 kilometers from Earth's surface. Then at this place value of G is different, and here communication satellite. Communication satellites who are given up at the distance of. So I was telling to you that weather satellites are working, taking rounds at the distance of 400 km. Then gravitational force is counted by the scientist. It is 8.7 meter per second square. And communication satellites are a different one. They are given up by scientists at the height of 35,700 km, and at that place gravitational value is also calculated. It becomes 0.225 meter per second square. Means as we go up, then however you will go at a higher places, gravitational value is decreases. Means still 8.8 means still Mount Everest, that is same. But there onwards, if we go high, then slowly it decreases, and at the distance of 35,700 km away from the Earth, it is 0.225, and then onwards as we go, then gravitational force does not act on any object, and therefore those things are going beyond the 35,700 km, they never come towards the Earth. Do you understand? Means here, however, as we go up, as we go at a different height, however height increases, value of G decreases. So same thing happening about the, if this is the Earth surface, if this is the center, and if you go inside the Earth, always keep one thing in mind, that mass force, gravitational force is concentrated at the center of the Earth, and however you go deep inside the it means that you are going away from the center of the Earth. However, we will go from the center of the Earth, again gravitational force value is changes. If you come towards the center, it increases. If you go inside deep, value of G decreases.